Hey, welcome back to Steve's Giant Pumpkins at Hematite Homestead. Been fighting lots of rain, wind, more rain. Finally getting an opportunity to take care of this disastrous weed fabric situation. So let's get started on that. But first, check this out. Well, you probably guessed it. I'm currently working on getting all this fabric out of my patch. And let me go show you why. This area right here was covered in fabric. This is what's going on here. I've been working on it down there a little bit. I'm going to continue work on get this out. All right, there it is. All the weed fabric. I'll get all this rolled back up on a roll. I'll use it for something else. I don't know what, but we'll figure something out. See, that's what the patch looks like underneath of it. Not too terribly bad in this area, but it was probably heading that direction. This has always been my problem area with grass and weed down here in the bottom here. But this is ridiculous. This was getting ready to make a nice bed in there. Nice puffy, comfortable bed to lay in. Major would have probably liked that. I have done some preen treatments already as I worked. So this used to be fabric here, and I've been working on it for a couple days, and I've done some preen treatments here and then here and on the other side there, and I've been pretty pleased so far. That's going on a week now, and no real growth in there. So what I'm going to do is get all this out of here, and then I'll work my way down and put some preen in it, and I'm going to also put a tiny bit of cleft in it. I'm not going to go super crazy on it. I'm going to do about half of the recommendation and see how that works. This is my favorite tool for weed and grass removal, but as you already saw back there, that's way too much to try and do with this. So I'm breaking out some big guns here. I'm going to try and burn it out. I'm going to work my way down to the bottom, and I'll burn it all out, and then I'll put some preen in the ground. I will use this to work the preen in the ground a little bit. All right, so there's the first path done. It's about 4-ish feet, about the width of a piece of this stuff here. I quit burning right there because there's really not that much in this area, and I didn't want to waste the fuel, so I just use this here. All right, I finally got the patch almost all the way cleaned up. Still got some more work to do down here on the 2030 towback and back there on the 2266 Cosmore. So, spent a lot of time that I should have been paying attention to these plants and trying to help them along and do some other things other than the stupid stuff that I've been doing. So, I decided to abandon the weed torch. It was just taking way too long, and I got a million things here to do, and I just couldn't keep wasting time on that. So broke out the tiller, did a nice till in here, laid down my preen as I worked in about 6-foot sections all the way down. Got all the grass broke up, tilled, and got it out of there. Then I put preen in that area, and then I did a till again, just a real light till to get that kind of mixed in down in the soil a little bit. Yes, you saw that correctly. I had my lawnmower in the pumpkin patch. So rest assured, if you got your lawnmower inside your giant pumpkin patch, you're not doing something right. Well, I'm glad to have that behind me. I'm glad I got a nice clean patch now. I still got some work to do down there and right here and between these two big girls up here. And I'm gonna focus on getting that done. And man, it sure feels good to have a clean patch. Try and keep it this way now. All right, from the outside of the patch, so like I mentioned, you see that I got it almost all the way cleaned out. I've still got some here. I got to get it out from between my two main plants. A lot of cleanup to do down there on the 2266, and then the same thing for the 2030 and same thing for the 2030 towback. Now the Cosmore plant and the 2030 towback over here got totally wrecked from the windstorm. I took some damage on these two big plants, but I was able to recover them pretty decently. Those two down there got wrecked. They were all the way out of the ground except for at the crown, and I thought I was going to lose both of them. I got them both laid back down, and I tried my best to get their roots back in the ground, and they're finally starting to take off and do something. 2030 towback's been a slow plant from the get-go anyway, but it's finally starting to try and come back to life. And then the 2266 Cosmore is really laying down some square footage down there. I need to go down there and get it cleaned out and help it along. I'm way behind on vine bearing on that. I did look it over real good today. It is throwing a lot of roots that are going in the ground, but I need to help it out with that a little bit. So I'll get working on that ASAP. All right, we'll start right here with the 1965.5 rotor and I'm just guessing 16. Yeah, we're in the 20 foot range right now. I got 20 good secondaries on this. This one right here kind of got rolled up in the windstorm that came today. I mean, it was just really windy. It wasn't really a storm. So I'm trying to get that put back down. I did lose a couple secondaries off here that I had to trim off. And the main vine leaves right here in the middle, they weren't impacted too awfully bad on this. This 1707 got it way worse than what this one did. I do have a fruit all the way down there on the tip. I will be pollinating that. I think I'm going to get that in the next 5 to 7 days probably. And other than that, I mean, I'm pretty happy with where this is at right now, because a couple days after the windstorm it looked like it was just going to lay over and quit, but it is doing pretty good right now. And then the 1707 Caspers. Now that's a little bit of a different story from the windstorm. The windstorm wrecked this plant. I lost a lot of the main leaves. You can probably see the gap there off the main vine. I lost 3 secondaries off of this that I think it might have been 4 maybe. I don't really remember. So I'm lacking some secondaries here. I did let some tertiaries go back here, and I also have a tertiary right here in the middle. You can't really see it, but I let it go. There's a big gap between 2 of these vines, so the tertiary kind of fill in that space. And same thing on the other side. We can get in there to the other side. So again, I'm happy that it's still alive and still growing and doing what it's doing, because a couple days after the windstorm it looked like it was just going to fall over dead. And and then get in there. I'm pretty well caught up on vine bearing on this plant, but you can see I need to move this walk board and do a little bit of work around here. Same thing for this plant. There is fruit on the growing tip down there underneath my shade, and I will be pollinating that. And again, it's going to be in the 5 to 7 day range probably. All right, next up for me is to finally get my wobbler system put in with my beehive Wi-Fi controller that can water from anywhere in the world. You know, I should have had that done a month ago. And like I said already, I've been doing stupid stuff and undoing stupid stuff, so that cost me a lot of valuable time. No big deal. I have been hand watering and hand feeding, but that takes a lot of time too, and I'll be very glad when I get this water system put in. So that's going to be my next focus. In addition to getting these 2 plants up here cleaned up and getting this area finished up, and patch is pretty well clean, and man, it feels good. I'm so glad to have this behind me, and try to keep it this way and get my water system built. So next time you see us, hopefully I'll have my 20 psi wobblers in strategic locations out here to catch the whole patch, and fruit, and might have some fruit pollinated by then too. So thanks a lot for watching. Make sure you're checking out Hematite Homestead on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Follow along with Steve's Giant Pumpkins all season long.